They set the rules of engagement from the very first possession, and they play with great physicality, and obviously their big three, Braden, Trey, and Fletcher were phenomenal. But I thought Caleb First, his ability to get extra possessions, loose basketballs, 50 rebounds in the paint, and then CJ Cox's on-ball defense was, I think, something that set the tone as well, picking us up 94 feet, turning us, and playing with aggression. So hopefully we look back as this is a fork in the road where we go in the right direction and learn from this and keep it moving. What a great environment. Purdue, like I said, hats off to them. They played incredibly determined basketball.
Dusty, did you have any sense that this was coming as far as your preparation leading up to it?
No, a few weeks ago, one of the coaches, maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, I told one of the coaches that sometimes we're gonna have to be in one of the environments. I may have even said Mackey Arena, where you just don't know how difficult it's going to be until you feel it. And this was the one. It felt different. There's a different level of energy. There's a different level of physicality. And as you guys know that follow us, that's been the theme here lately, especially with the traditional Big Ten teams. We haven't risen to the challenge from a physicality standpoint. And we're not there as a program quite yet, but we're going to be obsessed with getting to the point we need to where we match the level of intensity and physicality in these games.
Yeah, Dusty, I don't know, do you subscribe to when something like this happens, like a burn the tape mentality, or is it something you gotta go back in and dive into?
No, definitely not. We're definitely not going to burn the tape. There are going to be learning lessons from this. The pace of our cuts, the pace we run the floor, our lack of communication in a very hostile environment. We just have to be better in all facets. I don't think we played well in any area tonight. So no, we're a growth program. We've got a long way to go. So I think if we burn the tape, we'd be burning a lot of really important lessons that hopefully we learn tonight as a group.
So building on that, what is the message to the team? And you say things went wrong. I guess what's maybe the most disappointing part of the disappointment?
The turnovers is obviously is a theme that we're just loose, we're casual. We've got to, I'll just credit Purdue, for example, the pace of their cuts and the angles and physicality which they screen with, they create advantages and they play off those advantages. So we have to do that better. I don't think we were physical enough on our blockouts. I don't think we played well in any facet, and like I said, Purdue was extremely determined for obvious reasons. They lose here every couple of years for a reason. So it's more the competitive spirit that we didn't play with that's most disappointing.
Dusty, you mentioned this a minute ago. How hard is it on a visiting team when you come into this place and in the first 2 or 3 minutes a couple of things go against you and it just sort of begins, the wave starts to roll? How hard is it to play through that?
We didn't respond well. I thought once things went poorly, we tried to go get it on by ourselves. And I don't think our intent was bad. I just think that's the experience of when that happens. We've got to really focus on doing it together, on taking what the game gives us and not trying to make individual plays. They had a good plan to take away our guys, the guys who have led us from a production standpoint, and we didn't counter that very well.
Dusty, you talked about your timeout philosophy earlier this week. With the two you had, I guess you felt compelled to take early in this game. What was your hope for how the team would respond then in the moment?
Obviously, we didn't respond very well to those timeouts.
What was your message to them?
During those timeouts?
Yeah.
It was a 40-minute game. I don't remember that particular moment. Whatever we needed to do better on offense and defense and in between.
Yeah. Sorry, one more from me, Dusty. You grew up 110 miles south of here, like right down the road, and when we were talking to Trey earlier, you talked about we got to be ready with our hand signals, this and that. You've obviously played here, coach here, you know the drill. Did your team fully appreciate the magnitude of this?
I don't know. I don't want to speak for them. Obviously, we didn't play well. Purdue played very well. And sometimes these things happen. We're not going to put our heads in the sand. Like I said, we're going to learn from this, and we've got a lot of basketball to play. But as far as being ready for it, I don't think until you've experienced this But more than the crowd, I thought the players played with as much spirit and energy as the crowd did. I thought they had a different look than I'd seen on film at times, but not surprised. You better come in here with a hard hat on and a different mindset if you're gonna find a way to win.
You kind of alluded to it already, but just knowing that this team is coming off a loss, I mean, how much did that maybe change what you expected to see out of them and just the intensity?
Well, as I was watching on TV, my initial response was, dang, that they're going to be, it's not good for their mindset and what we're going to see. And then the other side of me said, man, they're pretty steady all the time. I don't know, obviously, what happened the other night in the second half. A lot went wrong for them. I mean, I don't think they missed any of the shots that they missed the other night tonight. But yeah, my initial reaction, my gut said that's not good for us. But once again, if we're going to be a championship level program, we've got to be able to rise to the occasion and at least match the energy and spirit of a championship caliber program, and we're not there yet.
Dusty, you started out in here talking about C.J. Cox and Caleb First, and clearly everybody talks about what Braden does for this team, Fletcher's shooting, Trey Coppin rim, but Matt plays 9 players before the second media timeout most nights. How well do those role players complement the big three of this team?
I think extremely well. I think they're very confident in their roles and their place on this team, and I think their role definition's as good as any team that we've played all year. But I guess that's probably not as difficult as this some places, because Braden's going to get 10 assists every night, and when you have a point guard that's making the right plays, it's keeping everyone involved. I watched him a couple possessions, and his focus and his ability to simply just play the game. He made plays on both sides of the ball. I mean, I thought he was precise. He was precise offensively, defensively. He was reading the next play. They knew what they were comfortable giving up and what they were going to take away, and I thought they executed it much better than we did tonight.
Take one comment, Wilson.
Dusty, just a minute ago, you said something about seeing a different fire or something from Purdue than you had maybe on film. Can you expound on that? Just what looked different or what you had seen before that they were better at tonight?
They've been that way at times. I mean, there's a recency bias. I just watched Ohio State, and then I watched Penn State when they didn't play well, and I thought Penn State was extremely determined, and I don't know what led up to that, but I also saw them play extremely well against Alabama and some other games. But until you feel it in this environment, I mean, it was you couldn't communicate, you couldn't hear yourself when the crowd really got into it, and obviously that has an effect on athletics, on sports, basketball, whatever the case. So yeah, it was more impressive than I thought, but it's been a long time since I've been in here. I've been on the wrong side of a few of these in this building. It's not fun.
Coach, thank you very much.
Thank you.